Hi guys, just a follow-up from last week's Thursday meeting about how to create forms and use the flubaroo self-marking script. The first thing we need to do is create a form. I'm going to work in my drive here. I'm going to move to the create button here on the left hand side. Click it once, it brings up my different selections of documents I can create. I'm working in forms, so I am going to create a form. Brings up the blank form template. I have three options here in the left hand corner. The first one is allow users to edit the responses, which means that they can fill out the form multiple times. Should you want a student just to fill it out once and that is the final answer, you should leave that unticked. Require subpeaters assigned to view this form. Yes, everybody in the domain will be using that, so I'm going to leave that ticked. Automatically collect respondents' subpeaters username. Always a good idea just in case they make a mistake on their full name and password. Let's name the form. I'm just going to call it star test. I'm not going to include any helping text here, but you could put instructions, anything you like. I'm going to move straight down to the question over here. This is my first sample question. I'm going to just launch straight into questions and say what is your full name and surname. You could split it up into two different questions. Ask full name first and surname second. For the moment, I'm just going to keep it as one question. I'm not going to put any help text. It is definitely a text question. They'll be responding in text. I, however, will make it required because I need them to fill it out. I need them to have the question required, otherwise they can't submit the form. So I've got the first question in. I'm going to move down to the bottom. You see that little pink strip now becomes highlighted. I can now edit that question by clicking on the pencil over here. This is my second question. I'm going to say what is the sum of 4 and 4. Next question. I'm not going to put a help text. I am going to give them multiple choice, however. 4 options. First option, let's make 8. No, let's make it 16. Second option, let's make it 8. Let's make it 24. And let's make this 12. Alright, so I have 3 different options here. I'm not going to worry about which is the right option. I will collect that information from the spreadsheet when I fill out the form the first time for myself. I've got 2 questions there. I'm quite happy. I'm not going to make that a required question. They don't have to fill it out, but I'm going to click done here. I have my complete blank form. It's not very exciting at the moment, so I'm going to jazz it up by clicking on the theme. I'm going to go for something a bit blue. Let's use bluebirds down here. Alright, I'm quite happy with that. It's a little bit blue, but that's fine. I'm going to click apply. My form has now been created. I have 2 questions on. Once you've completed the form, the next thing to do is to share it with the respondents. The easiest way to do this is to click on email form over here. We're not going to use Google Share Plus yet. We are simply going to put the people we would like to share the form with in terms of the email or group. If I wanted to share this with my EGD class, I could go to my EGD group and populate it to the whole group, or I can select one person. I wanted to share it with Siobhan and then click send. I could even include the form in the email, and I can do it right there in the email and click respond. Once I've shared that, then I can move on to the responses up here and have a look at getting the information together in my spreadsheet. I am now going to move to a spreadsheet because each piece of information, each question will be collected in the spreadsheet and saved there. I'm going to move to the spreadsheet that connects to that form. You can see that it has a timestamp that tells me when respondents filled it out. That's the username under the simply this domain. Full name and surname, I'll fill that in there, and the answer to the question, what is the sum of 4 and 4? Right now, I would either distribute the form, I can share it with the domain, I can share it using a group. I am going to now install a script that will mark the responses I received to that form. I'm going to click on Tools and go to my script gallery. The script that I would like to use is called flubaroo. the easiest way to find it is to click grade, search, flubaroo is the top one there. I'm going to click install. It does take a little bit of time. Right, flubaroo is installed. I have to authorize the use of the script, so I'm just going to scroll down here and click on authorize. It now says I am able to use that script. I'm going to go back to my script gallery, close this window. I can now see that I have a new flubaroo menu in my spreadsheet. I will now need 2 recipients at least to fill out this form. So I'm just going to pause the video down here. I'm going to go and fill out that form, and I'm going to come back. Right, I have installed the flubaroo script, and I have 3 responses, all of which was me each time. For the moment, viewers that are not part of the St. Peter's domain are unable to fill out forms. So we're going to go straight into the flubaroo script. I'm going to click on grade assignment over here. It's going to run the steps. Right, it's going to ask me a couple of questions. Right, it's going to say which one identifies student. The first one, username, I'm going to skip grading. I'm not going to include that in grading. Second one, identifies student. I am going to click on this one because it is my full name and surname that identifies student. You could also use the email address. I'm going to just move on to the next question here. What is the sum for 4? How many points do I want it to count? I'm going to let it count just 1 point. This one just multiple choice question. Once I've filled out those questions, I can move on to the next step. It's going to take me to grading. It says which one is the correct, which one is the model, which one is the answer key. The answer key was the first one I filled out. I'm going to select that as the answer key, the one with the right answer, and move on to the next step. It's going to go through and grade the assignment. It's going to finish, and I can go view grades. And it has created a new tab separate from the responses I collected. The grades over here, I can see that Tim 2 didn't get anything right, and neither did Tim 3. Neither of them got any right, but I can, once I have finished with that, I can also email the grades to them. Since I collected usernames with their emails on, I can use this, I can include an answer key and email the grades to them should they wish to get it. I can also view a report. So I can see something of what a bell curve would be like. Everybody got it wrong, so unfortunately they're all on the left there. I can also email that report back to myself. Right, that's pretty much it. There's submissions, and the live form is still available should I wish to edit it later or change it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit about the flubaroo script and it's something you can use. I look forward to seeing you next Thursday. Cheers.